Hi everyone, welcome to GeoRick's Travels. We're at Auckland International Airport.
We're about to board a flight to go to London. We'll arrive there about 6 o'clock in the morning and we'll go straight to our Airbnb and put our bags away. And then what to do?
Go geocaching and mudlarking, of course.
Okay, let's head into the airport.
It's a journey door to door of around 32 hours. By the time we go through immigration and customs, it should be around 8 AM. Low tide is 2:20 PM, so we need to get moving.
Here we are at number 38, and we're going down to our apartment here. Lynn's gone down ahead of us.
Come on in.
Big truck going past.
Yes.
All right, show us around, Lynn.
Oh, righto. Here we've got the bedroom.
Oh, nice. Nice
Yep.
size bed.
It is.
Good.
Yes.
What else can you show us?
Well, through here we've got the bathroom.
Oh, good. All right. Oh, that looks good. There's the heated towel rail. Then you come around to the shower.
Yeah, it's good.
All looks nice and clean, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, where else can you show us?
Well, we've got in the bedroom, of course, a nice fan, and we've got the TV. And through here we have the kitchenette.
Okay. Let's go and have a look at that. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna.
What's this in here? Oh, a washing machine.
All right.
Oh, and dryer.
Oh,
That's handy.
oh yeah. That's good. And plenty of things too.
Oh,
You can
chips.
cook things and some potato chips. Crisp.
Yum.
Good. Thank you.
We're passing Tower Bridge and the nearby girl with the dolphin statue on our way to Wapping. There's a nice virtual geocache to log on our walk. Photo for the log. We're heading down to the foreshore near the town of Ramsgate pub and the Wapping Old Stairs. The stairs have been here for hundreds of years. They were used by watermen who taxied passengers across and along the river as Old London Bridge was frequently blocked. This part of the Thames was once a very busy place. We are in plenty of time as there's still a way to go before low tide. A pub has been here from at least 1545 and probably much longer. A pub being at the top of the stairs is the perfect place for people to drop things into the river. We are here alone at the moment, so let's see what we can find. If you're new to mudlarking, two things you can usually find easily are clay pipes and broken pieces of pottery called sherds. Clay pipes were commonly smoked from the late 1600s to the late 1800s. The stems often became blocked with tar from the tobacco.
Pieces were broken off so the pipe could be used a little longer. Pipes were also cheap and easily replaced. So there are hundreds of pieces on the foreshore. Even if the bowl is missing, they can be worth picking up to see if there is a maker's mark, their name or initials still visible. This one is very worn, but there is a J on the left-hand side, the maker's initial of his Christian name. Here we have found a piece of common 19th century utilitarian pottery called ironstone or stone china from the Globe Pottery, Stoke-on-Trent. It's from a short-lived partnership between Charles Edward Coxton and Joshua Seddon. It's rather thick, so we're thinking probably from a chamber pot. A chamber pot is a bowl kept in the bedroom and uses the toilet at night. It was common before the advent of indoor plumbing and flushing toilets. They were often stored under the bed. Ironstone was harder than earthenware and stronger than porcelain. Unlike bone china and porcelain, ironstone can be made from recycled clay, recycled ceramics and naturally occurring stone, reducing the need for new raw materials and cutting down on waste. Here is a piece of the lip of a large platter, the flattish raised outer part. We searched for a matching plate, trying to find a similar vignette, the little scenes around the lip. We found a close match in this large Turnbull and Stepney meat platter. Wealthier people might have had a whole pork joint on here for Sunday lunch, or maybe in the pub served as a slice on your Sunday roast dinner.
There are lots of pieces of clay roof tiles here. We've been told that the thicker ones with large round holes for wooden pegs were from the time before the Great Fire of London in 1666, and the square holes were for iron nails sometime after the Great Fire. A small piece of shell-edged pearlware. It was produced in large volumes between 1780 and 1860. The most common colours applied to the rims were green or blue. The early examples were generally well painted, with brushstrokes being drawn in from the edge, which creates a feathery appearance like this one. After about 1805, it was common to sweep the brush along the edge laterally, producing a stripe. A piece of Bartman jug, the name means bearded man, is a type of decorated salt glazed stoneware that was manufactured in Europe throughout the 16th and 17th centuries, especially in Germany. The colour of the salt glaze varies a lot.
They were also manufactured in several locations in England, either by English potters copying German patterns or by immigrant Germans. Here is a waster, a piece of pottery that has been damaged during the process of making it and is abandoned as waste. Biscuit fired means pottery that has been fired without a ceramic glaze, usually intermediate stage in a glazed final product. The chalk here is not a natural component of the Thames in London. When you see chalk like this, it has been laid down to provide a flattened soft bed for mooring barges and lighters at low tide. Can you see a piece of Chinese export porcelain? Can you see a vulcanite stopper? They were commonplace beer bottle stoppers from the 1870s through to the first half of the 20th century. Vulcanite is a hard, dense, moulded rubber material. The process of vulcanization involved heating natural rubber with sulfur to create a vulcanized rubber, converting it to a more durable material. The term is derived from Vulcan, the Roman god of fire. Henry Barrett invented these in 1872. He also designed an internal screw thread for the interior of the bottleneck, which solved the problem of keeping the fizz in fizzy drinks. These screw stoppers took the place of corks on most beer bottles, and bottled beer became more popular.
These stoppers could be embossed with company logos and shaped to fit any bottle, so they became a very popular way to seal bottles. This one's from Watney Combe Reed and Company Limited, Stag Brewery, Pimlico, London. We've found another type of vulcanite stopper. It still has the washer of pink India rubber that created the seal. Frederick Riley brought out an improved stopper in 1885, designed to be easier to grip with the fingers or in a bottling machine.
This one is for our white.
They became the biggest soft drinks company in London. They delivered to shops and pubs. Here's an interesting, very old piece of waterware from the 1600s.
tiny piece of tin glazed earthenware called Delft. Delftware was created as a cheaper alternative to Chinese porcelain, which was very expensive and available only to the wealthy in the 1600s. The potters in Holland and England did not have access to the same clay as the Chinese, so used a white glaze to imitate Chinese porcelain. Here's an interesting, very old piece, borderware from the 1600s. Borderware is a type of post-medieval British pottery commonly used in London and later in the early American colonies. It could have been used and broken around the time of the Great Plague.
Here's another lip of a large meat platter. It's a Job May and Sons platter in the Zoological Sketches series. The animals were copied from A Cabinet of Quadrupeds by John Church, a book of natural history which was published in 1805. Not a perfect match, but definitely from their factory, the Old Hall Works, Stoke-on-Trent. Can you see a piece of Staffordshire comb slipware? A decoration with combed lines and iron oxide over a white slip, giving a pale yellow appearance under a clear glaze. Used on common objects like plates, bowls and mugs, found in ordinary people's homes and inns and taverns of the late 1600s to the early 1800s London. It always reminds us of icing we see in bakeries. Yum! Can you see two more pieces? There was a great geocache we found here a few years ago, sadly now archived. There are pieces of blue and white Chinese export porcelain here. In the first 50 years of the 17th century, more than 3 million pieces of Chinese porcelain, including thousands of teapots, tea bowls and saucers, were imported into Europe. The blue and white style of porcelain was so influential that even today porcelain is just referred to as China.
Porcelain was considered a major luxury item. It's still very quiet here. Being a Sunday, the river is also quite quiet.
Ta-da!
Can you see what Lynn's saying "da-da" about? A nice clay pipe bowl just sitting here left by the tide. Looking at our handy chart, we think it's from around 1680 to 1710. Would have been smoked and discarded into the Thames around the time William III, known as William of Orange, became King of England. Many of the clay pipe bowls are just too damaged to date, other than to say this one's from around 1700s. Another piece of salt glaze from a Bartman jug. There's still a way to go before the tide is fully out. The grey with cobalt blue is easily recognised. Best of Old Stoneware is a distinctive type of salt glazed grey pottery. Best of Old is a region in Germany east of the Rhine. These could be dated anywhere from 1675 to 1900. Cobalt blue was used as it could withstand the extreme temperatures required in stoneware kilns.
Can you see another small piece?
Jugs, tankards, mugs and chamber pots were imported into London in great quantities up to the end of the 19th century. '19th and early 20th century beer, as well as many non-alcoholic beverages, were commonly bottled in stoneware bottles like this. Stoneware bottles did provide the ultimate in protection from the detrimental effects of sunlight, but they are heavy, which eventually lessened their popularity. It pays to stand still and look carefully. Many mudlarks have knee pads and kneel for a much closer look. Here's a broken black glass bottle, the push-up or kick-up base. The majority of black glass bottles made during the 1800s were for liquor, wine and ale, for which protection from sunlight was needed. Beer can turn bad in sunlight, giving it a musty aroma and flavour, referred to as skunky beer.
Since push-ups are found on bottles dating from at least the early 17th century until the present day on machine-made champagne and wine bottles, you can't date a bottle just by this alone.
What have you found?
Can you see what Lynn has found? A large piece like this, with sharp edges, not worn by tide and time, points to it being rather modern.
More blue and white pieces. This piece looks rather modern, but more likely from a creamware pottery mug or jug used in pubs or taverns in the 1800s.
It's time to head up the Wapping old stairs into the town of Ramsgate pub at the top, as people have done for centuries, for a great pint of Harvey's Sussex Best.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again here in London, mudlarking and geocaching.
If you want to know more about the pottery shirts, check out Richard Henry's book. You can get it in PDF form.